1 Corinthians chapter 15, Paul gives the most robust argument for why the resurrection from the dead is so important. And he was presenting this argument to the church at Corinth. And some of the believers in Corinth didn't believe there would be a resurrection of the dead because they held the Gnostic belief that the body was evil and the ultimate goal was to discard the body so our spirit could be free. And Paul says, no, you got it wrong. That the ultimate is to have a glorified, resurrected body that's like Jesus's while we have our born-again spirit in the resurrection. So in chapter 15 of Corinthians, Paul systematically goes through and makes a number of points presenting his case as why the resurrection is critical to the gospel. Then he describes the resurrected body. He says our body is like the Lord's, although every believer will differ in glory. It says in 1 Corinthians 15 verse 41 that as star differs from star in glory, so every believer will have a different expression and dimension of the glory of God in their body. And then he says, but our body will be like the Lord's. Of course, the Lord has the ultimate resurrected body. But the real key point in 1 Corinthians 15 is how it ends. Paul said, because this is true, he said, therefore, because the resurrected body is real, he said, be unmovable, be steadfast, always abounding in the work of the Lord. Don't draw back in discouragement. Don't quit and drop the ball, so to speak, because you're not treated right. The money didn't come in right. Their situations didn't happen right. Many people quit for many reasons. Paul said, in light of the resurrection, abound always in the work of the Lord, because your work is never vain in the Lord, no matter who's supporting you or not supporting you. And then the next thing Paul said, he said, because we're raised from the dead, we don't have to fear persecution. We don't have to fear even martyrdom, because of the glory is so intense and beyond measure of what we're going to receive. And so in the resurrected body. So Paul is presenting this argument of the resurrection in order to prepare the believers in the place of pressure not to cave in, not to give in, and believers in the end time not to be intimidated by persecution, even martyrdom. He said, if you see the truth of where this thing is going, you have every reason to be confident and steady in the Lord. 1 Corinthians chapter 15.